Hello, everyone. This is the very first video in Azure DevOps series, and we will cover the series with the help of labs, as many as we can, because this is true. You cannot understand the technology by reading it. The only way to understand is by doing it. That's the only reason we focus about labs. But it's not like we'll not talk about it. Of course, we will gonna talk about each and every component, but while performing the labs. So let's get started. This is the very first video, which is inspired by the Microsoft Documentation Labs. And in this lab, what we're gonna do, we are going to do certain tasks to understand how it works, which is we are going to create an Azure repository. There must be some kind of data or code in the repository. Then we'll try to clone it to our local computer with the help of VS Code. We'll try to make some changes and push it to the Azure repos with the help of VS Code, GUI, of course, and then we'll do all those things through command line. We'll see the commits, we'll check the commits, we'll see how it stages those things. And in the end, we'll try to explore some old commits or review the history. These are the few exercises we are going to do in this lab. And we'll also be talking about what is organization, what is repos while performing the lab. Okay, so let me take you through what I have right now with me, and then we'll start working on it. So right now, as you can see, I'm on Azure DevOps right here. If I click here, you see this is the name of my organization, which is Pachehra Talks. If you don't know what is organization, well, Azure DevOps is a security boundary, or you can say logical container that provides all the services that are needed to implement a DevOps strategy. So under organization, you need to create the projects. You click here and you create the project. Right now, I have 3 projects created already. So if you click on new project, you can give the name. You can select whether you need a public and private. And you can also select what kind of version control you're going to use, like Git or TFVC. Git is distributed, TFVC is centralized. And here you can also choose the work item process like Agile, Scrum, CMMI, those things. Okay, so in our lab, we are focusing on Azure repos. This is the repo that I have. And under this repo right here, under this project, this is the repo right here. I clicked on it, Parts Unlimited. This is the code which is provided by the Microsoft Lab, which I'm going to use this in our lab. So as of now, things are clear. We have one organization. Under one organization, there is this project Azure Repo Demo, where we have certain code. Now, let's suppose there is some developer who just joined the team and wants to work with this repo, then how he will gonna proceed it, right? Okay, so I have this VS Code with me. Let's suppose I have not even opened the VS Code. Let me right click here in the Azure DevOps repo 04. This is the path where I'm clicking on code, VS Code. You can open wherever you want. And now here, what we need to do, we need to clone the repository. Where is the repository? We have in the Azure repos. Right here, this is the clone button. From here, we can clone it. Okay. Just wanted to inform you because I did show you, but I do not remember whether I said it or not, because we have multiple projects under one organization. So that's I wanted to tell you. Azure DevOps allows the creation of multiple projects within a single org or organization. And by default, a repository is created with the creation of a project, just like whatever the name that you have chosen for the project. For us, this is the default repository, which got created with this project. Okay. Now, this particular repository is not default because we have cloned it. Okay. So don't worry about that. Just wanted to inform, if you create the project, there must be a repository for you already. You can change the name as well for that repository. You can create one more in the same project, more than one repository as well. Well, enough of talk. Let's go ahead and click on clone, right? If you click on clone, what it will do, it will give you this link, right? You can use this to clone the this project right here, this repository, or you can clone it directly from here. So let me copy this and go back here. And what I need to do here, before I do, you see it was on the blank folder, there was nothing. So I need to hit on the terminal, and I need to add my username for the Git, so that Git is aware who is doing the changes, who are making the changes. So this is the command. You can simply see git config / or hyphen, not slash, global user.name, and you can give any name here. For me, it is Arun, and enter. In the similar fashion, you need to also provide user email. This is the name and this is the email. You can provide the email. You can provide any email here, doesn't matter. But if you're working for the company, for the organization, you need to provide your email. But here I just giving any random email address, doesn't matter right now. Okay, and enter. Now Git is aware like who is doing the changes, it's me. Now what we need to do, we need to clone the repository. As you've already seen, I have copied the URL from the Azure repos that was here, right here, this one. I've copied it. I'm going to my VM again, and here what I need to do, I need to press Control Shift and P, and it will show me palette right here. I need to use git clone, click on it. We are doing all these changes through GUI. We can also do it through command line that we'll do later in this video. Then I need to paste the URL. You can see this is my organization. This is the default dev.azure.com, and this is the organization name. This is the project name. This is my repo underscore git, right? And I need to hit enter. Now here I need to provide the path where I want to store this repository. So I'm using the blank repo 04 that I was using at the beginning, where I opened this VS Code. So it is there, and now here you can see it has cloned already. Now we can open it up. There we go. So we are under Parts Unlimited already, which is under Repo 04 folder. Okay. We are doing everything from the GUI, and in the end, we'll show you through the command line as well. All right. So we have the project here, as you can see. If I open this up, these are all the files, solution, everything is here. So what we need to do, we have the same solution that we have in the Azure repos right here. You can see, right? So let's go ahead and quickly make some changes or do something so that we can, I can show you we are working on the local repository, and then we can push those changes or sync the local repository with the remote repository, which is Azure repos. Because when you make changes to your files, Git will record the changes in the local repository. You can select the changes that you want to commit by staging the changes. That's a Git process. You're not going into the deep of the Git. I assume you have a absolute basic knowledge of Git and you would get it, what I'm saying. So that's how we commit. We put the change in the staging area, then we commit it. So commits are always made against your local Git repository. So you don't have to worry about the commit being ready to share with others, or that's it. No need to worry about it. This is in the local repository. And once it is done, once we are happy, then we can push it to the or sync it with the remote repository. So what we need to do, we are going to do the same thing what we talked about in one of the file. Let's suppose under source, if I go to models, there is this file, right? Let me make some changes here. Just change 01, just to understand, right? Once you do anything on any file which is controlled by Git, it starts saying there's something happened, there's some file changes, one pending changes, which is not in the committed area, not in the staging area. There is some changes here. So what do you need to do? You need to just click here, okay? And here you can type in the message and you can hit this check and it will be noted, or your Git start capturing the changes, okay? Or you can say in the Git language, it would be committed. So I'll write here first commit, or I can do very simple control and enter. I've been using this VS Code, so it's not asking me. I think it will, yeah, it's not asking me anything. But if you're using first time, it will ask you, there are no stage changes to commit. Would you like to automatically stage all your changes to commit? You can click always, because we are just doing the lab and testing, and that's how we have made just the comment, right? Now, if you come to the bottom under the master branch, you can see there is this circle kind of thing, which says there is one down, two up, something like that. You see that? Which is saying there is one commit. The local repository is one commit ahead of the master repository, and you can sync it by click here. So if I click here, you can see it starts syncing, and it was showing, you see, synchronizing changes, and earlier it was saying one push something like that. So synchronizes changes. So now it is saying your changes has been synchronized. So how can we check that? Just minimize it, go to the commits, and under commits you can see right here first commit. That's what we did. Don't worry about the fail. This is nothing to do with this particular lab. So first commit by Arun. This is the name we have given in the Git at the very beginning. All right, and don't worry about these commits, because this is the repository that I borrowed from the Microsoft lab. So these are the old commits. You can see even the year 2019, but this is what we did. So what we did, we simply cloned the repository. We configured the Git at our local system. Then we clone it. Then we made some changes. Then we committed the changes and pushed the changes through the GUI. That's what we did right now, till now. Now, let me show you the staging thing as well. So what we need to do for that, let me go ahead and make some changes. Let me do this, change 02. Okay, you see it has captured already. There is one change happened. Let me do one more change in this file. Now you can see both the files where we have made the changes. It started showing here as M as being modified. Now earlier what we did, we committed the file directly. Now this time I'm going to show you the staging thing. If you hover over here, click on here plus sign, it is staged. Now you can see under stage changes, and these are the changes. Now if you go and type here something like stage committed, for example, just to understand, and go on these three dots and only commit the staged one, then the stage changes has been in the commit, but this change is still not committed, not even in the stage area, right? And if you click here and you sync it, then only one change which is committed would be synced to the repository, to the remote repository. Once it is done, if I'll go here in the repository, click on it, click on here, and go to modules. Under modules, we have this. It should show us 02. That's the change that we have made, right? And if I go to another, there is no change. Now, if I go here, you can see this one is still in here. And what the next thing that we are going to learn is check the history, check the branch history, and check what are the changes that we have made, or things like that. Now, if I come here, this is the only one which is showing modified. And I think this is there is a space. Let me minimize this. This is the correct thing, and we can. Oh, that's okay. It is rolled back. Then it is fine. What we wanted to understand, we did. You can make the changes in multiple files, but you can only commit certain file after putting them in the staging area. That's what we were trying to learn, and that's what I showed you in here. Now let's quickly go ahead and get back to the repo and click on the commits. You can see there's so many commits here, and you can see there right here, this got merged, right? The other branch got merged with the master. Now you can simply go here on these three dots, click here, and you can easily browse the files. What was the status at that point in time? You can see this is the merge commit under this. If I go back again, I'll show you right here, PR. This is the merged PR. You can see right here. And these were the files in that PR. Let me go back again and click in here. Oh, sorry. Why I'm going in, because it is showing what the changes were made, like 1 minus 1 plus. But what we need to do, we just need to browse the file, because we are starting with the beginning. We should not go with all the details of conflict and all. So if I click here, browse file, you can see these are the files. Those were there at the time of the merge. Okay. Now, what we need to do, and there is something just wanted to show you here. You can also download this as a zip, or you can fork it. That you can do. Or if you want to go inside and download any particular file, you can do that. Okay, so this is the very basic lab for the Azure repos, where we learn how to connect our VS Code to the Azure repos, how to clone, how to configure, make changes, push it through the GUI. Now, if I go back here and click on terminal, new terminal, I'll show you the same thing with the help of Git command. Okay. Now, if I do WSL, it will give me this. And here, what we need to do, it's very simple. If I do git status, it will show me the current status. And right now we sync everything to the master, so there we would be in sync. The one change that we made, that was rolled back, so your branch is up to date. That's what it is saying. Now, if I go back here and under card item.cs, if I do another change, let me do this. Let me make it 3. Okay. And now if I do, it starts showing here in the GUI. But if I do here, git status, it started saying the one file under this location got modified. Now I can do the stage thing. I can do git add. I can give the path of this particular file, but we have the single file, and I can give the dot. Dot means what all files in the staging area would be added or staged, right? So if I do git status, you can see it is in the green color now. It is under staging area, means changes are ready to commit. And we can do simply git commit, and we need to give the message command line commit. Let's put it this way and enter. Now, if we do git status, you'll see on branch master, your branch ahead, because we have one changes here in the local repository, which is not being synced. We did not click on this button, but now what we can do git push. Okay, if I do git push, it will ask the password. That's how this is configured right now. And if I give it the password here, it will, oh, it's not, my password is not correct. Let me try again if it works. No, this is not the password. Git push. No, so it's fine. It is a good idea. If it's not working, I'll show you how can we do that. Now there is two things. I can simply go ahead under the repos, click on the clone. I can generate the Git credentials and use it. For example, this is the password. Or what we can do, we can go to the project settings and click on right here. No need to go to the project settings, my bad. I need to go here, sorry, right here, and click on PAT, personal access token. And we can create a new token right here. You can give any name like token token 02 or something. And let me give read and write and create. And we can utilize this token right here to, now we pushed the changes. Okay, now even you can see there is no changes showing here, so it has been pushed. And now if I do git status, we are good to go. It's the nothing to commit, working tree is clean, on branch master, branch is up to date. Now just to confirm what we need to do, we need to go back to the repository right here, click here, repo. I can go to the commit and see commit through the command line. It has come here already. If I click on it, you'll see 2 to 3. These are the things which are changed, -1, +1. This is what it was showing when I accidentally clicked on the merging part when I was showing you the merge request or PR request. So that's all in this video, and I hope this video is useful. Just to summarize this video, what we learned in this video, we hooked up our VS Code with the Azure repos. On Azure repos, there was code already. So what we did, we configured the Git by giving the username and the email address, so that Git would have the information who is committing and who is pushing the changes to the remote repository. Once that part is done, we showed the staging area, commit and push or sync through the GUI and through the command line. In the next video, and we also explored the history in the version control system, but that's what it is, right? That's what the version control system is, right? So we checked that part also. So there is few things I just wanted to add here before finish the video or complete the video. The very first thing, Azure Repos is a service which offers version control system capabilities in DevOps, of course. When you create a project in Azure DevOps, it asks for selecting a version control system that you may want to use for code repository that I showed you at the very beginning. It could be TFVC and Git. Git is distributed, TFVC is centralized. Git is a distributed version control system, which is quite often used. That does not have, that does have a central server, of course, as well as local copy of the repository with complete history and code on the developer's machine. And these local copies can be worked upon, and even if disconnected from the central server. There is something I just wanted to add. I think I've already completed. I was showing at the beginning, just wanted to show when we created. Yes, I showed you this at the beginning. So yes, that's all about this particular lab. And that's all we learned. It's a very basic lab for the beginners, just to get the feel of this Azure DevOps repos. And I would request you guys do it by yourself. And that's how we learn. It's a technology. You cannot learn it by reading a book. You might get an idea, but you have to go and do it. Thank you for watching. You have a good day. Let's meet in another video. Bye-bye.